Well, the last game of the day. Let's get it underway. Manly Mullets, they're coming in to try and steal the show, upset the party, and ruin the day of the Newcastle I-Beam, the host team. And this one should be hotly contested. It's Manly team, young and surging. A developing program built upon the strength of youth recruits that have developed and become top-tier players. I-Beam in the white there on the left. Final kind of chat between them. Seems like the instructions light-hearted by Ryan Davey, captain of Newcastle I-Beam. So at the moment, I-Beam have not entered a single game result. Tim Hayes, tournament director, on screen there. And Manly are sitting on 3-0. So Manly Mullets to receive first. I-Beam to be on defense. Bryce Winchester, disc in hand. His younger brother Jake actually standing in front of him. Those two look like a Matryoshka doll. Just a smaller version of the elder. A little bit unfair on them. Winchester giving that a outside in shape on the disc. And so Manly. Godfrey receives, gets in the middle. And this is going to be a near turn to start with. Hell of a save by Lou to keep it alive. The travel gets called. I think that kind of gives you an indication of what Manly Mullets are about. Massive layout. Here's Noel Moss. Richards looking for that break. Diggins in space. Decides not to throw the first option. Lavis coming around. Richards gets the reset. And now middle of the field in the hands of Zabel. Zabel looking and easy on the doorstep, Pete Eng. After a somewhat shaky moment, they retain the offense and they go all the way. Score to begin this game. Sizable gap between points. Morrissey goes to spin pull. Doesn't look like it's going to come in. And Greenfield, who commented on the judicious use of paint to mark the brick marks. It'll be Michael Thomas. There's always a risk if the spin pull is over-rotating. Turn you back to the field. Henry Thomas, as they can know him. Looking more and more like the Bionic Man as every year passes. Stoddard. Hill. Doherty trying to give the cut. Greenfield pivoting. Catches Sierra. Greenfield just check he's all right. Uncontested foul by the looks. Stoddard turns his brace-side cut into a J cut. Davey. Oh, that pass is going to float a long way. Hill, great body position, and then striking to the end zone. Finds Nathan Ennis. So I-beam, after a nervous moment for them, they get the score. It's a rare miscue by Ryan Davey. It's normally the kind of throw you would expect him just to put in there. 9,999 times out of 1,000. That must have been the one. The one time out of 1,000 passes where it might pop up on him. Richardson. Oh no, that's Sam Jacobs actually. The two of them look very similar. So, the Manly Mullets, they're on offense. Pressure's on them. Richards, just with a bit of width to Moss. Richards. Eng. Back in the middle to Richards. Moss. Mullets. At the moment, Manly happy to play underneath. Just keep the disc moving and the stall count low. Moss has less down the field. Richards, though, rides the reset, and Diggins just drops that cold. Lavis gets it to Prosser. And immediately goes back to Lavis with dominator movement. Lim. Haynes. There's two players following the cut of Jacobs. Lim will have to do a bit there. Looks like there will be a call. Looks like contact on the play. I think Lim's got a case here. He said he was going up for the disc, and defender Veng has just kind of kept going into him. It's always hard to know. And that depends on if Adrian Lim has changed his direction. Ooh, hard to say, really. I think, look, if I was forced to take a side, I'd say this needs to stay as a turnover. It's hard to know. Looks like the disc will go back. Because I do think that Lim has changed his motion to the right a little bit. I'm just saying who created the contact. Haynes. That was a bit of a job the second time round. Winchester. Lavis. And I-beam. An opportunity for them to play offense. Jacobs all kind of free. Lavis. Lim has gotten some space. And Lavis has picked out the black shirt of Peter Eng. Missing both Lim and Haynes. Haynes got big time horizontal to try and do what he needed to save the offense. So now Manly go back the other way. So Grayson Haynes will tap this in. Ooh, Noel Moss going early. It seems that I-beam are going with a force middle force. Well known for the yips that it gave the Fishwick United offense. Oh, and there's just mayhem on the field. Luke Prosser coming in to poach. Richards caught in two mind, throws the space, and nobody from Manly was looking. Lavis. Prosser. Back to Lavis, huge laying bid there. Lou trying to get it. And Lavis again, another miscue. Tim Lavis is calling Pross off any kind of call here. I think Tim knew that he missed. So Moss brings it in, pumps a couple of times, and Richards at the front of the end zone. So the Manly Mullets, they get a score there. I've been certainly making them work for it and earn it on that one. Moss, 1, 2, 3 pump fakes. Just helping to manipulate the defense, I think. And Richards, who, that was his third cut. Some of the Manly Moes. Div 2 outfit for this Manly Mullets outfit. So 2-1, and the pressure now shifts back to I-Beam to hold their 0 point.
Oh yeah, Mullets! Oh yeah, Matty!
Thomas finds Stoddard, who had separation. Greenfield getting up the line. Stoddard picks a really accurate pass. Greenfield with a short range push pass. Now back in the middle, Doherty. He's an assist maker. And I-Beam, they cruise on through. Certainly not for a lack of effort on behalf of the Manly Mullets, but I-Beam really well put together offense there. Couple of really sneaky moments. That for one, and the other pass by Stoddard to Greenfield. And the other high stall situation was the other key moment. Both of them keeping the offense on schedule. The push pass. Disgusting. And Liam Doherty, middle of the field, real dangerous spot for him to be. He'll pick a pass. Again, we've been talking about the pressure, the O-line. The assumption is that they hold. And in these Div 1 men's matches, turns are often few. So the question becomes, can you break the opponent's offense? This I-Beam D-line, it'll be up to them. So John Greenfield still feeling spry. That's a classic, that is. Moss working against Luke Prosser. And Moss, a low one that's grabbed by Lou. Pick called by Bryce Winchester on Cameron Jewell. Moss, Richards, Sharp moving close, but not much upfield. Now the around throw, finding Godfrey. Now Lou, Richards, Diggins, Moss, Zabel rather. Now Moss. Oh, he's going to test one, and Moss, he gives up a critical turn. How critical, we'll find out. Richardson, it steps up and then sends it to Luke Prosser, who he gave up on that a little early, I think, did Prosser. Foul call. Richardson. I didn't see it. It must have still been in his hand as he made contact. So Richardson will get that back, and I think he'll probably be glad for it. So I-Beam, they keep possession of the disc on that foul call. Oh, that is under pressure. Prosser and Moss tangling. fellow New South Wales representative campaigners. Yeah, Moss just clobbering Pross a little bit. Nothing wrong with a little bit of biffo. Pross gets to it. Here's Keeley. Prosser. Throws inside, shoulder. Tim Lavis. And there's three of them. They're queuing up down the field. It's Tim Hayes. Oh, that could be a real critical turn there. Noah Moss. His turnover gets converted by I-Beam. 3-2 for the first break of the game. Lavis, when he catches his Frisbee. The receiving core new. Look at them. All three of them. 1, 2, 3 across the field. Keeley, Winchester, and Hayes at the back. The TD catching himself a goal on the live stream. Lavis. Very nice throw by him. So that one's out on the full. A brick. Noah Moss. Hasn't quite reached the heights of someone, say, as prolific as John O'Keefe, but well on his way is the young Moss. Certainly a similar kind of player. As Richards, Moss is covered. Lou. Richards again. This forced middle is creating issues for Manly. And see that the offense isn't as smooth as it would be otherwise. Creating moments where they're just struggling to get some flow going. The forced middle each time clamping on, forcing them to go back into the stack. It's become a real favourite of this I-Beam team. Just to continually mix up the force. Force it back into the mess. Make it ugly. Make an offense play ugly. Huge bid by Winchester. Jewell is going to drop it. Davey picks it up. Prosser. Davey has to clear. And it's Lim. Tim Hayes comes. Hayes back into the middle. Prosser has time to track it down. He keeps it rolling through Jacobs. Davey getting involved. They're not waiting. I-Beam using that first option each time. He misses Jacobs, who's on the open side. Goes to Ryan Davey instead, the captain. Prosser breaking for Adrian Lim in the score. 4-2. Huge moment in this game. I-Beam, that's 2 breaks. 4-2 the score. Fancy to see a timeout now. And O'Brien on the field. Yeah, there will be a timeout call. So I-Beam, they convert 2 break points back to back. Lim, great awareness. Just knowing that he'd keep his feet in the end zone and the point can end. So with that, we'll go to a break and we'll be back soon with some more of this first half.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at ULTI.TV, we want to make sure we always appreciate it, capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
Labus, vocal in the huddle. Some of the Manly faithful. And a Stoddard on the far left there. Stoddard will be on the live stream, I assume, at some point, playing for Manly. She has done for several years now. I-Beam in no hurry to break that hole. Manly on the line, ready to go. Winchester has moved to the other side of the field. Pulls flat. Richards. Moss. Diggins. Diggins. Oh, he can't fit it in there to Moss. It's well covered by Prosser. Now the around break by Zabel all the way to Jewell. Moss throwing to the end zone. Steadier for the Manly Mullets. Matt Zabel in the end zone. Moss, easy throw for him across the field. Winchester a long way off. I have to wonder if maybe Jake Winchester and Bryce Winchester ended up on the wrong person. Zabel more of the Jake Winchester type kind of player, and Cameron Jewell more of the Bryce Winchester type player. Bryce being very, very tall, and Jake being very, very speedy. So maybe a defensive mismatch or an overlap. So Manly. All Manly faithful down the end. Members of the women's team. Morrissey goes the spin pull again, and I don't think he's going to get this one in either. Or I stand corrected as Greenfield has to play that in from the very back of the end zone corner. Reminds me of the pull. Michael Thomas. Davey. It's been a real shift in the strategy and tactic of choice. It's Thomas. A brain fade. Throws it directly to Morrissey. And this is to let the Manly Mullets right back into this game. Tam. Doherty making it real difficult on the mark. Sow. Oh, and that pass, Davey just not getting the elevation in the end. The Mullets are well and truly back in it though, 4-all. Two-point run. Too many more scores and we'll see a timeout. This time by I-Beam. Fascinating game. 30 minutes gone and had a series of defensive runs. I'm not sure what Thomas saw. He totally didn't see Morrissey though. He just ended up throwing it straight to him. That's very streaky by Sauer. It works out. Dean Milner. The eventual beneficiary. Caps it off for Manly Mullets. Sauer. Left-handed pull. Gets good distance with good float. The leading hammer to Tim Lavis. Innes. Lavis. Thomas. Getting down the field a little bit further. Innes goes across to Doherty. Nice around backhand by Doherty. The issue with playing a zone like this is the wind kind of takes away the eighth defender. So Manly, they transition out of their zone. Oh, that throw out in front of Thomas. Innes misses. And this is for Manly to come well back into this game. They were already in it. But they're about to be more in it. Or not. Sasha Bell throws that forehand. Manly going back to their zone. And there's evidence of one of the great parts of this tournament, the Zupa Duper. Frozen stick of flavoured water. Very, very tasty after a long day of Ultimate. Well deserved by the players. Leads you to the question of what your favourite flavour is. Thomas. Hill. Hill across the field. Stoddard combines with Lavis.
Yes, Johan. Get in front now. Yeah, good. Set it.
Lavis goes the around backhand to Thomas. Stoddard, Hill, Davey, and then an easy pass for the score. Davey to Lavis. I-beam, a nervous moment for them. Manly Mullets unable to punish. The opportunity was there. So 5-4. Come back to this Chris Hill hammer. For those at home, noticing what Tim Lavis does there. He sees the hammer goes up. He turns around instantly, sees where it's going, and he takes off, knowing that there's an opportunity to get some meters, get some flow. Stoddard, who catches, already expecting Lavis to have made up some ground and gotten as far down the field as he can. Great chemistry between the players. Those men in particular have been playing together for well over 10 years now. Nearly 15 years for some of them. And that's a brilliant pair of red Crocs. Bit of tread actually on those. They look like the off-road variant. It's like the Land Cruiser variant, the four-wheel drive variant of Croc. Here's Moss. Diggins, the outcut, doesn't get it. Moss again. A lot of poaching players for I-beam. A soft zone by I-beam, forcing Manly to throw a lot of passes. And now Moss is going to reach for Lou. And I-beam get the result that they were wanting. Huge critical juncture of this. Moss just needed the wisdom to know that there was going to be options and to treasure the disc. Instead, he's gone for a somewhat speculative option. So they'll need to get it back here, Manly. And Prosser comes to the line. Tim Lavis working in space. Clears and creates an opening for Jacobs, the cutter who just keeps going. Prosser with a big wide release flick. Lavis waves it away. Richards. And now Zabel. Zabel's got a good read on it. Lim, it got lost. Godfrey. That was a skill shot by Godfrey, landing that hat on Sam Jacobs' head. Here's that Richards throw. Yeah, Lim just thinking that he needed to come further right than he actually did. If he continued to head up the field, he may have been closer. The throw was pretty good in the end. So just as I-beam looked like they were going to stretch their lead, Manly Mullets have fought back into this. Manly still figuring out their play call here. And that is some Paul. Dean Milner. Hill. A long way down the field to Davey. Ennis. Thomas. Davey off the front of the stack. Gives some widths as well. Thomas has gone inside and outside. Davey just not connecting with Michael Thomas there. And Greenfield. I don't know how he keeps doing it. He has no right to make that play. And yet, make it he does. A legend of the sport, John Greenfield. Ennis. I-beam need this. Davey back to Greenfield. Greenfield looking for that reset quickly. Here's Lavis. Thomas. Struggled in this game as Michael Thomas. And there could be a little bit of redemption for him. A very nice assist to Tim Lavis. Greenfield. I dare say we'll come back to the layout block. See, Greenfield gets the flip, and that throw is just not far enough. Sowers kind of thrown that a little bit behind, and then Greenfield is, credit to him, doing a really good job of being there. So 6-5, 40 minutes. This first day, be interested to see how it fetches up, because in this pool play part of the tournament, will decide a lot of the seedings for the future games in the tournament bracket to come tomorrow. Three games to play for the men tomorrow. Well, that is an inside throw that Lou lays out for Winchester. Stoddard around the edge. Jacobs, middle of the field, just inside the red zone for I-beam. Stoddard, it flutters in the air. And then Matt Keeley for the score. I-beam, clinical on the turn. 7-5. And back in front again. And I think that will be half time. It's supposed to be at 7, but I think I-beam have been the only team to actually take half at 7. Throw just fluttering in front of Chris Stoddard. Matt Keeley with the finish. So, while the crowd enjoy a break, the players enjoy a break, I'm going to enjoy a break as well. We'll go to an ad, and then we'll be back after halftime.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
So the I-beam O-line on the field, signalling that they are ready to play. And Manly down 2 points. A topsy-turvy first half where I-beam were able to create some distance between them and the beach Sydney Siders. Catch by Hill under pressure and then just straight to Stoddard. Well, that's a highlight from any time from about 2009 onwards. Teams have been looking for a way of stopping that for a very, very long time, and Hill and Stoddard show that, well, there's still work to be done. Hill just gets up, sees Stoddard going. Morrissey not happy. Real strength. Chris Stoddard's turned things into a foot race. And built like a greyhound. Good luck. Terrence Chang there on the left. Terrence unfortunately injured at the moment, otherwise he'd be out there competing with, well, either the U-beam team or the I-beam team. He's one of the younger players from Newcastle. Jacobs. Jacobs just goes out of bounds. Inside edge of the disc just dropping late in the flight. Another zone, I think, for I-beam. Jacobs playing a long way off the back. Lou has two grabs at it. And then a low one. Back to Eng. Richards makes up for it. Some streaky stuff at the moment. Here's Moss. Moss, the inside break. But a pick is called. Looks like it'll stay where it is. Throw to space and to Lou. Streaky at times. It all counts though. So we close in on the hour mark and 2 points the difference at the moment. Manly have their play call sorted. Here's Zhao to pull. Ernie Zhao has overcooked that. It's overdone. Thomas walking to the brick mark. Greenfield. Manly playing a poachy zone. Greenfield underthrowing it. Hill does well to catch down low. Now Greenfield around the edge to Doherty. And Doherty steps into it. That's a hard one. So a huge opportunity for the Manly Mullets. Hit a bit of a pocket there. So the disc comes back to Doherty. Doherty looks like he's been in the gym. Looking very big and strong. Davey. Here's Thomas. And then in all kinds of space, Chris Hill. At the moment, Sasha Bell is getting a little bit of a lesson on what it's like to mark some of the hardest working receivers in the country. Chris Hill certainly still up there. And a thumbs up from Chris Hill. Love that. (9-6) at the moment. I-beam. Lots of childish people here at the fields and at home, I imagine. There doesn't really seem to be much convention in Ultimate about whose score you say first. A home team of the whatever, because we're playing tournaments. It's mostly just whoever's got the most, that's what name you say first. Here's Noah Moss. Staring into the teeth of an I-beam zone. And Richards forced to go backwards, but then the 1-2 pass. Morrissey. Richards. Moss. On the inside to Zabel. Moss. Deegans. Moss. And Moss the outside in. Jewell confidently with one hand. Morrissey. Richards. Richards is going to test it. And Jake gets there. Jake Winchester. Cameron Jewell looks at his hand. As if to say, why didn't I end up with that? Winchester covered some meters there. Jacobs, gets foot blocked. Peter Eng is going to put the team on his back and get the result they wanted to begin with. So IBeam will call a timeout. I think just looking to slow this game right down, ice things out. But stuck to a quick ad, and then we'll be back as this game is heading to an interesting conclusion, because another score or two, Manly well and truly back in on this one.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch,
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our
our
work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the ultimate world and beyond.
I think definitely a case of IBeam looking to run this game out. Someone's rolled their RC four-wheel drive. Maybe a Christmas present of some description. Bit of an erratic driver. So within two now, Manly Mullets. They've got to come up with a D break here. The experience of campaigners of IBeam, certainly no interest in letting that happen. Morrissey. Again, the spin pull. Been some big pulls today. That's again up there amongst them. Michael Thomas. Davey. Doherty's found a lot of space. Hill's gone, and Doherty is just going to put everything he can behind it. It's too low, though. So cut off by Sasha Bell. And then Ryan Davey is going to put it back into the hands of the IBeam team. In a big moment, the captain standing up. And he walks to the disc. Greenfield just puts it out in front of Thomas, and then they walk it in through hands to Doherty. Morrissey again sends the hat flying. And that does seem like it's game, actually. Manly Mullets, they should really struggle to get into this game. IBeam just in control pretty much all the way. And the time when Manly did find back into it, IBeam were just able to turn around and put distance again between them and the Sydney Siders. So a great game of Ultimate. A beautiful start to the season. Come back to the Ryan Davey block, who just splits the defenders. Gets horizontal, and explaining why Morrissey was quite disappointed. He was the one who threw it. To be fair, he never saw Davey. Davey was behind his receiver. And then as he split off, there's Doherty. So the teams will circle up. And that will end our coverage for the day. So in the morning, We look forward to seeing you again. 9 a.m. here tomorrow at the Malabula Sports Complex. On behalf of Tim Hayes and the tournament organising committee, Newcastle I-Beam, Newcastle U-Beam, and the Sugar Magnolias. My name is Daniel Clinton. We'll see you again very soon.